Drinks was flowing like water, but no cups to drink it in. So somebody made a suggestion that had the boys on a hunt. They say if we could just find our own cups, then we could drink as much as we want. Well, if you see we like hungry little chicken all over the kitchen, we looking for cups. Like old Mother Hubbard, we all in the cupboard, we looking for cups. You should have seen we looking for cups to drink. Good Lord, we looking for cups. We looking for cups to drink. Good Lord, we looking for cups. Tysonians came in their glory, Tysonians came in their glee, greeted by songs of gladness from singing Sandra and Lady B, who wasn't formally attired, was equipped with the latest sports. The mighty Sparrow and the Fosto came out in a lambada shorts. Gypsy came in a velvet outfit, Funny Burrow exposed a shoe. Duke was in a scissors tail jacket, and all of them looking for cups too. You should have seen me like hungry little chicken all over the kitchen. We looking for cups. Like old Mother Hubbard, we all in the cupboards, we looking for cups. You should have seen me looking for cups to drink. Good Lord, we looking for cups. We looking for cups to drink. Good Lord, we looking for cups. Well, every year we leave our families and go to foreign land, promoting our country in the best of way that we can. But when we reach back here in our homelands, they greet we with a slap in the face. The way they hassle we in the customs, as if we loot out somebody's place. I never mentioned one word about this, cause I was hoping that it will stop until they invite we to this party, just to have we looking for cups. You should have seen we Crusoe and Composer in a bell-bottom Wrangler looking for cups. I see the Grandmaster Kitchen, girl a rush me and looking for cups. You should have seen we looking for cups. Good Lord, we looking for cups. We looking for cups to drink. Good Lord, we looking for cups. joiner, and woodwork is my trade. Specialize in furniture, but only first grade. But due to this economy, where the price of lumber so high, I got to reduce the feature on all my furniture that poor people could buy. So I build wardrobes and buffets, cupboards with two-face, no drawers. I build cabinets and wagonettes, divan and dinette sets with no drawers. I work rubbies, I work lumber industries, 15 years by American stores. Building wardrobes and buffets and cupboards with two-face with no drawers. But I am a born survivor, and Calypso is my thing. But show business wouldn't pay me, cause I am the free show king. So I call my partner Funny, cause I just couldn't see him drop. And we open a little business we call the Poor Man's Furniture Shop. We build from cupboard to presses, computer desks, no drawers. We build settees and sofa, dressers and locker, no drawers. All day we cut the lumber from plywood to cedar, and sawdust plugging up we pause. Building to your perfection, every lumberous erection, no drawers. After years of exposure, the business start to grow. Somebody shout, employ some labor. I say, cool yourself, I know. So I hire a few ladies to do the finishing touch. And after years of frustration, was a great relaxation to sit back and watch how the sun in them gables, polishing them tables, no drawers. They're all on top of the closet, furbishing cabinets, no drawers. A little breeze of detection blowing my direction, but at least you know the cause. It was four lovely ladies adorning my industries with no drawers. In lots of places I didn't expect to see. I got some in the Hall of Justice and the Canadian Embassy. I even passed by the Red House about a few months ago, and I was amazed when I see the kind of big people supporting the hero. The culture. Sit down on a dresser, no drawers. I see the right honorable leaned over a table with no drawers. Some prominent people supporting the Rio, assisting our worthy cause. Even the United Sisters purchased some ballistas with no drawers.
Trinidad Rio.
Merry New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is straight, die-hard, genuine, authentic Kaiso. And this is how the story goes. I went to public utilities and tell them disconnect them facilities, cause me I want them. I tried to contact the ombudsman, but never in office. I'm going to file me an injunction on the public service, cause every time a heavy rain fall, by me don't have no current at all. They spoil me TV, they spoil me fridge, they nearly kill me with low voltage. Now before they make me a lunatic, I'm going back to basic. I'm going and get a flambeau and lamp with wick. I'm going back to basic. I call me fans and I call me friends to let them know that if they have a message to send, tell Tempo. And if they come home and they see me, tell me neighbor, or get a pen and a writing pad and write a letter. Cause PSTT does make me weep. Gone are the days when old talk was cheap. I make a phone call to Talparo and I get a phone bill to Mexico. Oh my lad, before they kill me and kill me quick, I'm going back to basic. A piece of malling and two climpan wouldn't do the trick. I'm going back to basic. I went and buy me a motor car for my own comfort, because I can't take no more torture waiting on transport. But all them potholes and all them bumps, me car ain't able until they invent a car to jump. Well, I go travel. I beg the Lord to please put a hand, touch the hearts of this spare parts man. I used to have a raise in the bank, now every cent gone in me gas tank. Now I prefer roller with piece of sticker. I'm going back to basics. Or buy a 3-speed bike, go in tick. I'm going back to basics. really walking is when you can't pay your bills on time. They come cutting. Incompetence and disregard. Ain't no humor. Cause the situation is sad for the poor consumer. The word water does give me gripe. I ask for water, they can give me pipe. I can't even get me clothes to wash. Me toilet full and can't even flush. Now they make me condemn me toilet bowl.
I'm going back to basic.
And now I dig in a latrine hole.
I'm going back to basic.
Trinidad Rio.
Yesterday, I went to the store to buy a cooler. Then get me Indian partner next door to make a chula. I buy a donkey cat from Ramdeen to make a stagecoach. Then put some Severin in my latrine to kill the cockroach. I buy a posy made in Hong Kong, the only silver posy in town. Well, if you see the latrine I built, y'all is the cleanest one on the hill. All down inside the hole and around the walls. I always splitting. You know why? To make sure cockroach ain't bite me.
Trinidad Rio. Rio. Back to basic.
Long time me, Gypsy and Kokro. Back in the earlys, we used to go downtown after show, pick up the ladies, window shop, take them along, buy them a roti, then find the cheapest hotel in town and make a pakoti. But time changes and so do we. So put that down in Kaizo history. Because if you shouldn't do the same today, it's like a game of Russian roulette. So now before one of them get me sick,
I'm going back to basic.
I'd rather sit down in a corner and
I'm going back to basic.
Yes. While walking in the city, I met an old girlfriend. We grew up from small. She was surprised to see how much that I got, and so handsome and tall. She said it doesn't seem like long, we were so very young. You mean so much time went by, life was just the other day. We used to run and play, oh how time could really fly. So I show her, day before yesterday was yesterday, yesterday. Yesterday was today, yesterday. yesterday.
Timeless flies.
Yes,
Timeless
I
flies.
tell you.
How time really flies.
She remind me about the first time I dip in the salt. She says she who encouraged me. She was sitting on a rock, I was standing in the water, reaching up to me knee. She said I didn't want to go, I was going in too slow, and only reach halfway. So she hold me by my head and pushed me facing it. Boy, that seemed like yesterday, I tell you. Day before yesterday was yesterday, yesterday. Yesterday was today, yesterday, yes. Today was tomorrow, yesterday. Tomorrow, today gonna be yesterday. Day after tomorrow, tomorrow gonna be yesterday.
Timeless
Tell you,
flies. Timeless flies.
yes.
How time really flies.
I remind about the time when she was playing with the lizard and I with the butterfly. She was shaking up the lizard, so I squeezed the butterfly, and she started to cry. And the time when we was naked jumping on the bed, and her mother pushed the door, catch me on the bed, misbehaving. She was 3 years and I was 4. I tell you, day before yesterday was yesterday, yesterday. Yesterday was today, yesterday. Today was tomorrow, yesterday. Tomorrow, today gonna be yesterday. Day after tomorrow, tomorrow gonna be yesterday.
Timeless flies. Timeless flies. How time really flies.
While we talking, she remember the days in school. She say that was really fun. The things we used to do, the games we used to play, now them days are so long gone. She said the time when I bet you can't take out the lizard in class and I lose the bet. I would really like to see how
This is not politics. Please don't forget, I'm just practicing to be a poet. Not qualified as yet, but have no fear. I'm gonna get there. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectation. Neither are you in to live up to mine. I don't owe no one, no obligation. No one owes me none, so everything is fine, fine. I say I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. Serious business. There is a time for everything, and for everything there is a season. So man and man must reason. So I think it's prime time that we address some more issues. Simple information I will use. No rocket science to get you confused. So relax your mind. Make sure everything is fine while I take you down a poetic line. Trick us with camping promises. We won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain. But you now refrain. You now refrain. I remember you say Liberation Day, and I ask, you sure is that you wanna say? Cause it sounded so good to believe. And deception is a powerful thing when you lose your rightful thinking. So we voted for the bling. But you trick us with campaign
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. It is the 18th day of October 2023. My name is Sheldon Scott. I will be with you up until 10 p.m.
Everybody say, cell phone ring, man answering, yellow, yellow, no hello. Teeth get yellow. How's
And of course, it is Talking Points.
even green get yellow? And so says 11-4. When you trick,
I'd like to thank all of you that are joining us locally, regionally, internationally.
that's the way it is. We've waited in.
I'm starting off with two of my good friends, Jill and Wendy. I hope all I could, I hope all I could get you tonight. I don't know what it is happened last night on the Facebook, but I'm hoping that you both can get through tonight. Yeah. Put a little message in the group. Let me see. Yeah. Put a little message on the live. Let me see what's going on. Those of you who are already on the live, remember to like and share. And you know, when I say that, I do it immediately as well. Like and share the live. It is always important. Dixie and Victor, let me say a special good night to you, my dear. Dixie Ann is always sure to like and share the live. She's always liking and sharing the live. So let me say a special good night to my good friend Dixie and Victor.
They began with the blame game, giving NNP more fame. Past administration,
Dixie Ann dread like that, no? Don't play with her, you know?
past administration, chief of corruption. Then to economic recession, we kept
Good night to you, Mommy George.
economic recession,
Good night to you, Martin.
poverty in the land.
Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Hudson McPhail, Mrs. Maureen McPhail, a special good night to both of you.
Promises,
Belva Charles, good night to you.
the way it is, we've waited in vain.
Camille Teresa Scott, a special good night, my dear.
All your projects are stuck in a pipeline. But when asked, how is the country going? Oh, fine. We are the
Okay, Jill is getting through tonight. I see ya.
projects in
I don't know what Mark Play going on with.
yellow temperature. When will they start? Please answer that. Oh, soon. Maybe by the next full moon. Although things are turning at a very slow pace, we now run the race.
Oh, no, in Nursey. Nursey might be on work still. I don't know. I ain't seen Nursey yet, but let's see if she gets on.
Face. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't say it is. That's the way
You all have got to behave yourselves.
hoping you'll is this.
Good night to you, Zayla.
You now refrain.
Good night to you, Zoe.
Busy managing,
Good night to you, Xalia.
busy neglecting, busy inflicting.
And Deshaun. As I say, you see, Zelia, you remember? I tell you, right. Good night to you, Deshaun. All right. Hope you all having a wonderful good night. Good night, Sandra. Hope you're having a wonderful night.
Time form and rehire the Imanis. Less stress on.
And on Facebook, let me say a special good night to Etta Batiste, Ingrid Bourne, Teresa, Buddy Frederick, Peter Lois, Nicole Batiste, Winnie Simon, Ansa Landy, Wallen Aquat, Mavis Thorne, Charmaine Thomas, Connie Tompkin, Grandma, a special good night. Let's go some to that. Good night to you, Grandma. Norman Noel, Maudlin Bartholomew, Patsy Budd, Cynthia B, good night to you. Lynn Joseph, Charmaine Ragbasing, Evelyn Narayan, Glenda Robinson, Bernadette Joseph, James Arnold, Laslin Douglas Jr. George, Theresa Collymore, Jill Williams, I'll call you out before I call you out in the lineup, Ruth Thomas, Courtney, Yvonne Courtney, good night to you. Small axe, if you're a big tree, I am a small axe, sharpened to cut you down. Well sharp. Small axe, good night, bro. Laslin Douglas, Brave Boy Sincere, Velma Pascal, special good night to you, my dear. Hope you're having a wonderful one. Teresa Gill, Diana Romney, adorable Kathy Gilbert Levine, my wonderful cousin, good night to you. Cicely Celestine, Dennis Fabio, Donna Langdon, Joan Henry, Nakisha Jones, good night to you. Special good night to you, Veronica Fedrick. Yeah, singing tonight, Dennis. The Buzz Boss, special good night to you. Kathy Pope, special good night. Kathy Albert, I ain't find I see you checking now, but I'll show you this some way. All right. Hey, Ramel, what you seen, Bora? Ramel Batiste, good night. Latoya Maguire, all right, good night to you. Anna Lewis, I don't know why Latoya is getting me low. I'm not sure. We'll have to double check on that. Charmaine Williams, good night. Annette Downs, So good night to you as well. Jenny Noel, and I think I went to Nakisha Jones and Joan Henry and so on. Yes, so special good night to each and every one of you. Over on the YouTube, Carl Jones, good night, bro. Gemma Warwood, Phyllis Mitchell, Agnes Henry, Wilfred Antoine, Kathleen Ledlow, Alban Harris, Sandra Pascal. Hey, Sandra, my friend didn't tell you she see me today. Yes, I catch her off guard. She wasn't looking out for me. I catch her. Miriam Samuel, good night to you, my dear, all the way out there in London. Marlon Panchu, Treasure John, Maria Noel, Gavin Thomas, Vanessa Lalji, Alan Jones. Bro, what's up, bro? Alan Jones, I find we kind of get distant and nice now. Me and you just moving. We like brothers, yeah. Faith Lynn, Hallie Douglas, Good Life, Dominic Leroy, Errol Bonaparte, Baby Daddy, Deborah Laborde, Sharma Jeremiah, good night to you, my dear. Sky, Ann Andrews, Jack Kitman, good night to you. Jen, all right, Faithlyn Hallie Douglas, Anna Lewis, Michelle Alexander, good night to you, my love. Jackie Raymond, good night. Janice Mitchell, Alcy Peters, Dolores Redhead, Dennis Bain, all the way out there in Washington. Yeah, good night to you, bro. Devin James, Kester Victor, Christine Otley, Margaret Superville, good night. Sonny Isle, Jerome Lewis, Cindy Thomas, Roland Batiste, Hermina Batiste, Clive Raymond, Derek Isaac, Cosville Macmillan, Jacinta Livingston, my dudes. What's up? Eliza Bernard, Jocelyn Matheson, Karen Spice, Jenny Samuel White, whoa. Wendy Telesford, Ricalia, Public Notice, Veronica Lewis, let me see, Kathleen Knights, Anastasia Patterson, Matthew Bowen, my solid brother, always tuning in out there in Brooklyn. Stephen Simon, Kim Creedland, Ron Julian, Jacinta Alves, yeah, Raphael Jr. Williams, Lydia Isaac, Joycelyn Francois, Mrs. Francois, a special good night to you. Iceland Musk, Roberts, Kashima Roberts, what sure over the thing so? Wilma Devonish, Dave Felix, Maria Marcel, Angie, yeah, Teddy Bear, good night to you, bro. Rhonda, Janet Bennett, Lorna Johnson, Steve Sylvester, Kieran Regis, a special good night to each and every one of you. We hope that you are having an absolutely fabulous night tonight. We hope everything is working out all well and okay for you the night before the holiday.
Oh, fine. We are looking into it.
Pretty historic, because it's the first pre-holiday night of this holiday being installed, yeah?
They start. Please answer that. Oh, soon.
I wasn't too sure we would get this holiday because first of all, you heard that it's a holiday. Then you heard, oh, we misspoke, it's not a holiday. Then you heard that, oh, there are too many holidays in the year, we can't give that holiday. And then afterwards, you heard it's a holiday. After saying that it's too much holidays, we can't give that holiday. So it is a holiday now, yeah. Kenny Buckmeyer, good night to you. Steve Sylvester, I'm not sure I said good night to you, but a special good night to you. And Lorna Johnson, good night to you.
Busy inflicting poverty and hunger throughout Grenada. 1,000 Frenchmen can never be wrong, but you hold your yellow convictions.
Ibrahim Jassat, a special good night to you.
Advisors home, they're sucking money like water in foam. And rehire the Imanis, less stress on the economy. You are Manchester, hold up the country. You didn't see us down by the brewery when they said
Joyce Phillip, good night to you.
Campaign promise.
And folks, just to remind you all that tomorrow there is that activity that's taking place at the, because I see some people trying that thing today. I ain't too like that. Don't do them kind of thing. Don't do it. Yeah? So let me just pull it up so I can show you while I say it. Yeah, the Maurice Bishop and October 19, 1983 Martyrs Foundation, families and friends. They invite everybody Tout Moun Bagay, all right, to the 40th Memorial Service and cultural activities in remembrance of October 19, 1983 at the Kirk Presbyterian Church, Granitang Road, St. George. And that is taking place tomorrow from midday, 12 noon. And they say the journey of 40 years of pain, sacrifice, and struggle, fighting for recognition of the martyrs and their contribution to the development of our nation. So that's the Maurice Bishop and October 19, 1983 Martyrs Foundation, families and friends. Because I'll say this, friends, during the day today, I saw some folks circulating this and saying that it's fake. It is not fake news. Now, let me explain here. The government of Grenada, they are having their separate activity, which is taking place tomorrow at another location. I ain't doing advertising for them. They are GIS and all kind of thing to do that. But they've got their activity tomorrow in other places. Yeah? The Maurice Bishop and October 19, 1983 Martyrs Foundation, they have been staging this activity for roughly about 39 years. Be it hurricane, be it storm approaching, be it pandemic, they have been staging this activity consistently for the last roughly 39 years. They have been holding this ceremony. Yeah? This year, of course, due to the construction that's taking place at Fort George, formerly Fort Rupert, they are unable to stage the activity at the actual location. But they are having that activity, yeah, at nearby at the Kirk, the Presbyterian Church. So if you're heading up towards the hospital, yeah, so you go with the police, give signal there, and you're going up to the hospital. It's the church on the right-hand side there, right? Yes, the church that was recently rebuilt, and so on the right-hand side. Okay, instead of going up to the fort, you go to the church. So that is taking place. Because I wonder why some individuals found it necessary to circulate yesterday and today and the day before that it's fake, this activity isn't taking place. It is taking place. It is a real activity. Now, I also recognize that the government activity that they are staging, it seems that to me that they're grasping at straws and trying their best to fill buses of supporters to go on down. Over the years, one thing I can say about the Maurice Bishop and October 19th, 1983 Martyrs Foundation, over the years, they have never made that activity a political activity. It has never been a political activity. Yes, there are people who are involved in politics who would go to that activity. Yeah? For instance, you have former Minister Yolan Bain Osford who would go to that activity. You have other people who are government ministers and so on that would attend that activity. But it has never been a political activity. It's never been an NNP or NDC or a PLM or any kind of activity. Right? It has been taking place on a consistent basis for roughly the last 39 or so years. Right? Now, the government has decided to have their own activities separate from the Maurice Bishop and October 19, 1983 Martyrs Foundation. For whatever reason, they have decided to have something that's separate. They didn't say, let's work with the Martyrs Foundation. Whatever they are having, they can have it. We'll give their support to it. And after that, we will have whatever we're having. No, they've decided to have an activity at the same time that the Martyrs Foundation is having their activity and draw attention away from what has been done for roughly the last 3 decades. Yeah? Well, going on 4 decades now that this has been done by the Martyrs Foundation. In my own instance, if I were going anywhere tomorrow, I would definitely go to the Presbyterian Kirk. I'm telling you. If I were going to anywhere tomorrow, I would go to the Presbyterian Kirk. Because I do not believe that such an event ought to be aligned politically any direction. It must be in remembrance of those that lost their lives on that day. Yeah? Whether government ministers or school children. Yeah? Whether workers or soldiers. Those who lost their lives on that day should be in reverence and remembrance of those individuals. And as such, I would attend the activity that has been taking place and that has been championing the cause of remembering those individuals for the last 3 and some decades. Yeah? That is where I would go tomorrow. But I realized that government kind of rushing. They're calling the same MPs that they didn't invite, the same MPs on the NNP side that they did not tell to organize buses to go there. Yeah? The same ones that they did not tell to organize, they're calling them last minute. They're calling them yesterday to tell them to organize buses and so to get people down to the stadium for their activity, whatever time it's taking place and so tomorrow. Right? But I'm saying that if it's me, I would support the people who have been doing this over the years. I'm not going to call names. Yeah, we pretty much, those who know. But I'm not going to call names of those who have been doing it over the years because I don't think they would want me to call their names. Right? But they have been doing it for roughly nearly 4 decades. They've been doing this, and I think that they deserve the recognition. Yeah? And if you're having something on that day, that they should be involved in it. So the Maurice Bishop on October 19, 1983, Martyrs Foundation, Families and Friends, they are having their activity at 12 noon tomorrow, Thursday the 19th of October 2023, exactly 40 years to the day, at the Presbyterian Kirk on Granatang Road in St. George. And I would say give them your full support. All right? Nice. And I'll leave the phone lines open for the entire program today, 440-7377 and 347-329-3101 for those of you outside of Grenada. I would say, yeah, I'm leaving the phone lines open.
Serious business. There is a time for everything, and for everything there is a season. So man and man must reason. So I think it's prime time.
Also, folks, those of you in New York, remember you have that activity coming up on Saturday the 18th of November, and that's from 12 noon until, it's in November, but advertising it nowhere, a full month before I'm advertising it. So remember, they have the fish fry fundraiser. So you've got the menu, fried and escovitch fish, chicken, pork, goat, cuckoo, chow mein, rice and peas, salads, and much more. Solid bar. And that is taking place on 302 East 91st, Brooklyn, New York, 11212 between Lenox and Clarkson. Let me give you the address again, because being a Grenadian who does not spend much time in New York, I'm just making sure that I have it correct. 302 East 91st Street in Brooklyn, New York, 11212 between Lenox and Clarkson. So for tickets, you can contact Nisha at 347-683-1997, Jacinta at 917-615-4918, and Wilson on 917-754-1319. They've got music by DJ Gemini. So it's that fundraiser that's taking place, the fish fry, on Saturday, November the 18th, yeah? And let me see what else we've got. Yeah, let me see what else we had here and thing, man. I'm sure we had that thing. Nice, right. Let me see. Right, so you've got the St. George Parish, the Anglican Church. They have their mini fair. That's coming up next week, Wednesday, between the hours of 1 till 10 p.m. They have games, stalls, cakes, bakes, fish cake, pig sauce, chicken, chips, solid bar, proceeds and aids of the St. George Anglican Parish Church, and the Organ Fund, and their location in Grenville Vale at the St. Luke Church grounds. So that's taking place next week, yeah? And then you've got Lovers Night Out by the St. Patrick West Constituency branch of the New National Party. They've got their Back in Time dance that's taking place next week. That's October the 28th, Saturday, October the 28th. And they've got the Glow Edition, admission only $15. That's at the Arena Nightclub. DJs Mega Mix and Just Gus. Giveaways from midnight on the hour. And that's taking place in Plains, St. Patrick. And, of course, the main one. Hey, watch, all you. Yeah, the New National Party, they're having their social meet and greet. That's taking place in Guelph, St. John. And it will be happening on Sunday, October the 29th at the Cuthbert Peters Park, Hard Court in St. John, starting from 12 noon. All right, so we'll be having different games, board games, different things will be taking place, and live entertainment, lots of eats and drinks. So you can head on out to that one. We've got a caller online. Good night. Hello? 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 Okay, it seems as though we've lost that call. Yes, so caller, call right back. So that's the New National Party. They are having their social, their meet and greet. It's taking place in Guelph, St. John. And of course, that's Sunday. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, the 29th of October. And at the Cuthbert Peters Park, the hard court there, starting time 12 noon. And of course, come on out, meet, greet, mingle. Yeah, you'll have the various MPs and various members of the New National Party will be there. Lots of live entertainment, eats and drinks. Yeah, they say the bar, they're walking with it Eskimo style. Yeah, right now the bar is on the way down from the North Pole because it's Eskimo style. On the way down. So come on out and contact your constituency reps and organize your transportation to head on there, or you organize your transportation otherwise. Let me say a special good night to my partner, Green Man. I know you definitely will be there. All right, so that's the NNP. They're having their social meet and greet that's happening on Sunday, the 29th of October at the Cuthbert Peters Hard Court, starting time from 12 noon. All right, so see you all there. Yes, we will have Talking Points t-shirts out there and them kind of thing. You know, we go handle all you. We go make sure we have everything there by in the interim. All you check Kami. Right? I wear the black one today. I put on the green. I finally get excited over the green one. So I put on the black one today. Remember stand a little? Yeah. I put on the green one today. The black one today, yeah. Because I finally get too excited over the green one yesterday. So I put on the black one today. All right? Nice. So folks, 440. Let me just make sure I clear the box. 440-7377. You can call the line 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. And I don't know what's up with the music here.
Face. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you're not refrain. You're not refrain. Busy governing, busy managing, busy politicking, busy neglecting, busy inflicting poverty and hunger throughout Grenada. 1,000.
To me, I've been listening constantly in relation to the establishment of October 19th as a holiday. And there's been a lot of, how can I put it, flip-flopping by the government on this one. Right now, in the minds of Grenadians in general, you all can tell me, it's unclear what you're really doing tomorrow. Yeah? So some people are wondering if tomorrow is in celebration of those that died. If tomorrow is in remembrance of those that died. If tomorrow is in celebration of those that survived. Yeah? You say National Heroes Day, but you don't have heroes. Because you have not named heroes and you're in the process of trying to name heroes. Yet still, you've made the Governor General declare tomorrow a holiday, which means the banks are losing money tomorrow. All of the industry, Grenada pretty much loses a couple $1 million tomorrow due to it being a holiday and due to it being done in such an ad hoc manner. In other words, without proper preparation. Because in my view, it seems as though tomorrow was developed as a holiday not in consideration of heroes, not in consideration of the events of October 19, 1983, but tomorrow was developed as a holiday for purely political reasons. You realize that you're having problems out there, that people who were supporting you ain't supporting you again, that people who were singing your praises, right now they go on mute in the choir and they had nothing to say. Yeah, the choir go on mute, people who were singing your praises. So that they were looking with some, because you realize that the present Prime Minister, Mr. Deacon Mitchell, is attempting to recast himself as Grenada's new Maurice Bishop and Barack Obama rolled into one. So he's attempting to come across as though he is Grenada's Barack Obama. Yeah, as though he's Grenada's Barack Obama and as though he is Grenada's new Maurice Bishop. So I think that what they're trying to do tomorrow is try to get it into the minds of Grenadians that, hey, this is the new Maurice Bishop. This is Grenada's Barack Obama. Yeah? And whether they're successful or not remains to be seen. We've got a call online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night, my dear.
Yeah, I just want to find out what's really going on with the government. I applied for a grant sometime last year.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gotten the grant, but don't you know that they're sending me money to pay tax?
And the tax
They
is
send
based
me
on?
to pay tax.
The tax
I
is
don't
based
get
on?
grant, I don't open no business, I don't have no business, but they want me to pay tax.
Let me ask a question. Did you register a business in order to apply for the
Yes,
grant?
I registered the business, but I didn't open no business because to get a grant, you had to register the business. But they did not give you the money, so I don't open no business.
So they make you register. You did not get the grant that was available,
No.
and now you have to pay tax.
No.
Well, let me give you a
Yes, that is
story though.
saying-
I have an individual that does work for me, and they said to me when that grant was available, they said to me they ain't going and apply for the grant because they have a feeling that what is taking place is they're going to take your information and then try to get you to pay tax. And it seems as though they
But
were right.
I want to let them know I ain't paying no tax because I ain't have no business. So I want them come in front of me, though, let me tell them what I have a right to tell them. Because if it's so they want to make money on people here, let them come. Nobody didn't tell them spend all the money Dr. Kit Mitchell leave in the treasury.
Let me mind your business now.
No.
How much they asking you to pay for a business that don't exist?
Well, I ain't even said watch how much they ask me to pay, but if I ain't pay, I have to pay $50 and one week. That's such a stupidness. I don't even have time for these people. And you know something? To the whole day today, I'm calling them to tell them about it. Nobody picking up the phone in Inland Revenue.
That is a problem that a lot of people have been reporting, and it's not a new problem. I'll give them that. It's not a new problem, but it is a problem that continues, that a lot of people say they've been calling different government departments and nobody's answering the phone. I hear it is a problem, my dear.
Because Sheldon, when I went for the grant, they asked me if I have a business area. I tell them no. It's a new business are going and open. So I don't know, they're not doing their work. Something wrong with these people and them. So they better get the facts straight and know what they're doing. Because they don't belong inside there again.
You
Sheldon,
and I
have
know
a
that.
pleasant night.
You and I know that, my dear.
Yes, you have a pleasant night.
All right, beloved. All right.
Okay, take care. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, lost that other call that was coming in. 44073. So, folks, sometimes I may punch you in, but I may not immediately bring you on if I'm ending a call. So hold on the line a little bit. So let's try again. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing, my dear?
They're doing all right.
All right, you go right ahead.
Right. I cannot support October the 19th as a holiday. I support the 25th of October, where the Americans came and invaded Grenada to rescue us. And the reason why I'm saying that, I lost my cousin, my second cousin, Fitzroy Bain, on the 4th, on the 19th of October. Right? Morris, Fitzroy Bain, Vincent Noel, no, I can't remember all of them yet, right? They all was executed, and Jackie
Kreff, yeah.
She was pregnant at the time, right? They
Norris
gunned
Bain.
down all of them on the 4th, and the people that was involved in the execution on that day, on the 4th, they are there now, right? They know that they're inside there now. They're all working with government, right? People are still hurting. Fitzroy Bain's mother died of still grieving for her son. Fitzroy was a loving a family member. He was loved by his family, his mother, his brothers and sisters, right? And up to now, we are still hurting because we don't know where the remains are. We don't know where his remains gone up to this blessed day, right? So I cannot support October the 19th as a public holiday. I support the Morris Bishop Patriotic Movement, right? By Dr. Marisho, right? Dr. Marisho, and by saying about the Morris Bishop Patriotic Movement, I have to say that I got a scholarship from the MBPM, right, under Brother Kenrick Radix for my son, right, went to GBSS and he had done well in school. Also, he migrated, right? So I cannot support the 19th of October, a public. We still grieving. We still want to know where Fitzroy body is. We still want to know about Jacqueline Crest, Fitzroy Bain, Norris Bain, Morris Bishop, Tunwell, Brad Bullen, Evelyn Maitland, and the others. All Mr. Romaine's son. We all want to know about all these bodies. I can't support
Well,
them.
Mr. Romaine did get his son's body.
Pardon me?
That Mr. Romaine did get his son's body. There was a photo that he had in his business place for many years with his son's body in the coffin there. So he
All
did
right.
get his son's body. I remember
Yeah.
specifically that he did. I'll say this though, that when it comes to the bodies, I think we have to be realistic here that there was an invasion force. At the case of the people who were charged with the murders, the assassinations, there were bits and pieces of the clothes and so that people were wearing and jewelry and so was brought into the court. So I would not necessarily blame the people that did the killing and ask them where the bodies are if when they were in the court that different bits and pieces of the clothing and jewelry and so were brought into the court. So there has to be a broader discussion in relation to that. I will say this as well. The Washington Post, they are doing a several part series in relation to the missing bodies here in Grenada. Those who have the opportunity, listening to it.
All right. Shella.
Yes, ma'am.
I remember I was living on the main road in Springs there.
Yeah.
Right? They put us under curfew. And whole night, the trucks and them.
No, I know
the
that.
trucks and them
You know,
joking.
I'm from
Whole
Springs. I know.
night, them trucks and them joking. Up Calibini.
I know that.
House arrest.
But I'm saying after that, there are pictures of the Americans removing remains in Calavini. There are court documents where bits and pieces of clothing and so from those bodies were brought to the court. So it is obvious that in my mind, I'm just saying it in my mind, that you cannot say that the last custodians of the remains were the people who did the execution. I'm not defending anybody, but I'm just saying that realistically, if it was brought to court as evidence against them, then the people who brought them in, brought it to the court, would have the custody of those remains. But that's a wider discussion, and I don't think I'm qualified to go into it deeply. All right, my dear?
Anyhow, we still hurting.
Yes,
and
I understand.
Can support the 19th.
Of course, my dear. I thank you so very much. Yeah. Yeah, I do not think that I am qualified. And I think I need qualified people to talk on that one. Yeah. I ain't qualified to expound on that particular issue. Right? And one of my good friends here is saying that whether or not, once you're registered, they would send the tax documents to you. But once you don't meet the threshold in relation to payment, you do not have to pay. Yeah, because I remember a good friend of mine, he was telling me, say, listen, we think they want to know, they want to see your accounts and want to know how much money you're making on a monthly basis because they want to bust tax on you. He said that is why he ain't apply. He said, me applying, I ain't applying because he afraid. You know, we have a caller online. Good night.
Sharon.
Yes, my love. How are you?
Good night. And good night to the Grenadian people home and abroad. Patricia, Arthur Campbell, good night. Mr. Watt, my son, God Scott, good night if you're listening to your mom.
God, good night,
and
bro.
everybody home and abroad. Sharon, I agree 100% with this caller that just called and said she's not going to support this holiday tomorrow. Because I could have been one of the victims too. Die on that foot on the 19th. It is plain in my mind, Mr. Scott. with what went on and what I'm saying tonight is not nobody that tells me. It's not no second hand news I get from somebody. Sheldon, I am not supporting that. I agree when the American people come, because I remember when the American people come, they knock me down, you know. They knock me down and they say, is any Cubans around? Is any Cubans, some white man, they eyes blue as the sea water. I could never forget that 19. I was working with the Cuban doctors in Montrouge, Austin, Blanche, and the morning when I went to work, as I reached, that's where they have the youth center and them down there. All the cottages, Gary and them had, and the Cubans was living there. They say, Camila, mucho problema en Granada. And they tell me go back in my casa. That means go back home. When I reach back on Wall Street, and this is the gospel truth, they had them Cubans cars or some green, I think it was the Raga they used to call them. Some of them members are the church, soldiers, Grenadians, that they charge for more Bishop and them body. Give me a ride. Because them guys know me. They give me a ride and they drop me by the tunnel. Because I used to work in the Ministry of Finance as a cleaner too. When I went there, a guy by the name of Alva James used to work in the Ministry of Finance. I find everybody kind of wild. And one of them girls said me, they're going and free Maurice Bishop. And I took my fastness and went up by where the government, where the parliament is up there. We march up there because people start, I don't know, long black maxi dress and they had the time white. And we went up there, we want we leader. This is not no second time thing I'm telling you, you know. Sheldon, when I reach up there, at the government house, there's an Amaka. First time I see a live one. I see them in book and I see them on TV. But that one was live. Pack up under with them bamboo. You see where they are the Red Cross place there now? On that side. Pack up there. And people, they go up. The first gate to government house. The first gate, not the one. And go up there and everybody, they want the leader. Grenadians, school children, big people. And they get all this man from inside this place there. The building is still there. They take out the shop. He had a kind of brown and beige jersey. Weak and weary, like when I fall sick and you throw water on it to catch yourself. And they go with the man. And we march down back. They go with him in a van and we coming down, look at Street and Scott. I could never forget that. When they return top Market Hill, what I'm saying tonight is not no people that tell me no second-hand news. I was there. If somebody stay in the crowd, we're not going in the market, we're going to hold for. We're going to be fought. And we get behind them. When we reach by where the police calling signal, going up for the hospital road now, St. James Hotel, and we hit where the police station was, going up the foot. The armor car was coming up in slow motion. Me and Jacqueline Bain from Grenville Street and Arlene Romain, Papa God of speaking the gospel truth. Arlene was a little boy, he was kind of haunted and crazy boy. I say, Arlene, where you going? I hold on to your hand. And we going up. And when the armor car climb up the little hill, going up, that was the first thing we hear, boom. But everybody thought was, I don't know, everybody scatter. Who run down, I run back up the foot. Right where the commissioner of police office is now, they had Bishop upstairs there. And things start, the bacchanal start. People scattering. I could never forget that. Crispin Hippolyte. That was my neighbor on Central Street. Crispin had it gone and he stand up. He asked me, I will use the word on television. Arlene Romain, a little red boy, Mr. Tony Romain's son. That was my neighbor on Maloney Street. Arlene, get away from me. And the little hatch they have on the foot, you passing through there to go in the back where they put them people on the wall. Arlene run through there. When I run to go behind Arlene, Bogman asked me, where I'm going? He used the effort for me. And he put me in a trench coming back down. You see where the flag flying, the police flag, and another one. And the foot, he had a trench, like a big drain. Bogman tell me, lie down there and stay quiet. And he stand up over me. And when he think kind of cool, you know, people running wild crazy, he tell me, go home. Shell and Scott. So I cannot support these people. People jump, people fall. When I run down and I start taking for the hospital step, there was a white woman in Grenada at that time. Used to drive a black Volkswagen car, a white woman. But in the hospital, they used to take out the teeth. When you go and extract, she was lying there on the ground and she was asking for help. And I said, miss, with the fright, I said, I can't sound to help, you know. And I run down and I go home. When I joined the Esplanade, I said, they're killing people on the foot. Pram and Willie and Dudley said, oh, but I want chase Dudley's a crazy girl. And I go home. Under bed. The time I living on Maloney Street. Is the next morning, I hear they say, Arlene dead. Arlene Romain. But if Bogman didn't stop Michelle and Scott, I would have go behind Arlene in that hatch. Anybody that know the foot, they go know what I'm talking about. That's that you grab all you keep climbing up a few little steps, and then you go through the hatch, and you end up in the back. That way they was always one lay wreath for Bishop and them. My aunt's son, Nathan, is one of them that died behind it, and Arlene Romain. Arlene slip away from my hand. Jacqueline Bende in America now. I don't know where she take for, but a lot of people die, and I could never support these people and them. Jacqueline Crest was a pregnant woman, and they kill her on one baby with that poor woman. That was my good friend. Every morning, we used to go and sit down by Portofino. And my son got us a baby at dinner time. And she had a nice little boy. And we used to sit down and breathe up with the baby every morning. I could never support these people this holiday tomorrow. What this thing? Are you kill a lot of people, and these people, they say that killing people walking the street. Some of them married, some of them who is liar, who is this, who is that. Never in the history of doing that. Never. I will never support these people. I used to work with the Cubans. The Cuban doctors, we used to cook and wash their clothes. When the American people come, the same the other Amaka park right under me window on Maloney Street. Why sat there inside? You see people up and down, and the white man come and knocking the door. That time you can't come outside. You can't come outside, Mr. Scott. And the man said, is there any Cubans around? He said, we come to talk to you. Are the friend? All the neighbors are wrong, everybody under bed. So I don't understand how they could talking about heroes. Who is the heroes? Who they rescue? Are you mad in Grenada? Something wrong. And lighting candles. I've never support these people and them for what they do to the Grenadian people. I'm telling you, they say. I'm telling you, people tell me what I said it right. Some Americans came after maybe about a year or two and come and sit with me and make a video and they send back one for me with the interview. I know what went on in this country. A lot of the soldiers, Mr. Scott, they take people clothes on the line and throw the PRA clothes around Maloney Street and going to the street. You hear me? Blondell Church. That means Miss Church owned me son. When we couldn't go outside days, Blondell passed in a van because it was a PRA. We begged Blondell to get some sugar. And that young man bring that sugar back for us. And on the way back, when he going back in Grand Blondell Church dead, he bring some sugar for us, me and Miss Dinah, and all the people on Maloney Street. So many of us, the people in the neighborhood. A lot of people get killed during that time, and these same people that they claim that kill these people, them alive. They are alive, walk in the street of Grenada, and they make children. They are the woman, they are the wife, and they are the family around them. I will never, never, never support them, people. You understand? You understand, Mr. Scott? Never. It wasn't for the Americans. No, some of us might have still put us in jail and kill us. I live to see a lot of these people. And the carnage again when they kill Mr. Bishop. I end up in a house in Green Street. Dogs bite me up when they kill that poor man again. When they kill Bishop father. That tall man with a straw hat. Was so it's not today. I don't want to hear about these people. I don't want to hear about these people. And this Prime Minister could never be Maurice Bishop. He could never be as Maurice. Never. Joke are you making? Joke are you making? Papa God saved my life in the park from the bombing. Papa God saved my life coming to Jesus Christ on the foot. Papa God saved me when they even killed Mr. Bishop father. When the respect chuck, pet respect and the carnage. I went through all these things in Grenada. And nobody didn't tell me I used to be there. I used to be there, but God saved me from all these things. So, I do have a good night, Grenada. Good. Never support these people. And if Maurice Bishop, the color election in Grenada, Maurice should be alive still, because Grenadians, they love Maurice. Grenadians, they love Maurice Bishop. That Miss Williams' nephew. Bishop used to come by, you know the Governor General and Maurice's family? They used to come and wear hankies, have a place and go on the street. Maurice, mother, and Miss Williams are sisters. I used to be around them people. I used to bad mind. I used them Grenadians, bad mind. And a lot of them working with the government now. Who are working with them, the children working with them, and they know. I didn't know I do to Maurice. I don't support you all you. Forget that. Have a good night, Mr. Scott.
All right, my dear. Thank you. Because one of the people who initially made the decision that they were going to have not just tomorrow as a holiday, but that they were, remember the original plan was to launch the 50th anniversary independence celebrations tomorrow. One of the people that was in charge of making that decision, just ask about them. And you will find out that not only were they on the fort during when all of what Kami was talking about was taking place, but they were there after. They were there during the assassination and after the assassination as well. They were there. A female who was in charge of making the decision to try and hold 50th anniversary celebrations tomorrow. Although that isn't happening, just let me make it clear that isn't happening. But for them to have been there through all of that and try to make that decision says a lot about them as an individual. And tomorrow we'll have some more folks calling in and getting a lot of messages there from various people in relation to this one. But tomorrow we'll ask some of you to call in and you can give your different stories in relation to that. It is 8:55, 5 minutes to the hour of 9 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. What I want to do for you all now, at yesterday's Parliament sitting, there was an adjustment to the fees that lawyers pay. Now, usually lawyers would pay $1,000 on a yearly basis, I believe it is, in order to operate within the state of Grenada. But for some reason, an adjustment has now been made to the fees that lawyers are paying to operate in Grenada. So if you're operating under a certain period of time, you pay a couple hundred, and then you pay a couple more hundred, and so on. So it's now staggered according to the amount of time that you've been operating in Grenada. It has been staggered. And before we go to that, let me take this call. I always try to give the callers preference. So let's take this call. Hello, good night.
Yes, buddy.
Yes,
Good
sir.
night.
Good night, sir. Go ahead. You're live.
Yeah.
I just load the volume in the background first.
Volume.
Load the volume in the background a little bit first, and go ahead. Yeah.
So we haven't talked too much in the lad?
No, you're having program as normal. I'll be here. God's willing.
Some of them think me say they say lie.
Nah, don't say the lie.
I'm telling you, I was a bail.
My brother.
Bishop didn't have no damn clothes on him.
No, hello. Hold on. Let me tell you something. What you see and what another person see is two different things. Don't say the person. No, hold on. Because I've seen a picture of him up there, and he did.
He said they say lie.
Hello, hold on. I saw a picture of him standing in the veranda there, and he had on clothes. So don't say she lied. What you, my brother, what you saw and what other people saw are two different. Listen, my brother, I gotta cut you off if you're not listening. Don't call and say people lie. What you saw on that day and what another person saw are two different things. You are your own two eye, them are their own two eye. I telling you, I saw a photograph of him in front of the ops room and he had on clothes.
Afterwards, they put on clothes on him.
Well, she saw him. Then why? Then how could you say? How could you say that she lied? She saw it. Bye, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night, Yeah. Nah, I ain't going down that road. Let me go on to the other issue. Don't do that. I saw a picture of him and he had on clothes in front of the ops room. You understand? So I ain't going and get into back, because you see the thing is, and before I go into the other issue there, this is exactly why we have a problem when it comes to history in Grenada. Because one person says one thing, somebody else says that person is not speaking the truth. What I am saying is the truth. And you end up with the multiplicity of stories in relation to the same issue, and you can't get the facts in relation to it, because every time somebody speaks out, somebody's saying that person lie and this person lie and so on. We've got a caller online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
This is my second time calling.
No problem. Go right ahead.
But I have a point or certain things I want to question. What does Tillman Thomas think about Heroes Day?
That'd be interesting.
I want to hear his opinion about Heroes Day. Because of that day, Tillman could have escaped prison and become Prime Minister of Grenada that day. Because of that day, Leslie Pierre, journalism, could have been free again. Lloyd Noel and these people could have made contribution to the development of Grenada. So if they want to honor heroes, honor heroes who was succumbed to the subordinate. There is no hero that was succumbed to the subordinate. A hero who lives and developed and build to what the plans are. But if you succumb to your subordinate, you are not a hero. Tillman Thomas spent 4 summer years in prison under the same regime and under the same party that is honoring people as heroes, and I don't know if they want to honor him. He spent how much years in prison? He came out of prison and became Prime Minister of Grenada under the same party that I don't even think they recognize him in that case. And journalism, that we have all kind of people on radio and TV and all kind of things saying all kind of things, that they are the heroes of Grenada right now. So when we talk about journalism, about heroes, we have to speak of the people who have, you understand, rise up from that regime and still contributing to the development of Grenada. We don't talk about people who died and succumbed to the subordinate and this kind of thing. Grenada is a progress. And right now, the only hero we have in Grenada is the people who wants to see Grenada go forward, not the people who taking away from the poor. Thank you, Sheldon.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much. And yeah, it looks like I got to leave the phone lines open for a little while before I go to the next issue. But let me just say this. I will not accuse anybody of lying. What somebody saw on that particular date, this is 40 years ago. Some of us could barely remember things exactly as it happened 5 years ago or 10 years ago. This tomorrow, we're speaking about 40 years ago. I know what I saw. I saw a picture of Maurice Bishop on that day in front of the ops room, and he had on clothes. At the point in time that the caller earlier called, he may have seen him when he didn't have on any shirt or anything. But that doesn't mean that who called before lie. It just means that at the point in time that you saw him, he did not. I don't mind if you call back and you want to give your story, no problem. But I don't think we should be accusing anybody of lying and that kind of thing. We have a caller online. Good night.
Senator Scott, good night.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I did. Senator Scott, you just listen. That's all I want you to do. Listen.
That's what I'm trying to do tonight. Go ahead.
Who had on clothes and who didn't have on clothes. The pictures is there. The pictures is there. First thing we see Maurice coming from a truck with Lala and them on top of the truck and Maurice coming out. They're trying to get him into something else. He had on clothes on him. You understand? So we have to get away from that. Because none of us, we go just go and make this thing a mess. It's already a mess, Sheldon. Because this thing was not about anything about heroes. Because if it was about heroes, you'd have everything in place to tell us who are the heroes. You understand me? But the plan was not that. But because the pressure you and others put on them, that they have to take it out from October 19. You understand? That's why they get themselves in this jam they're in. That's why now they have to come forward with it, but they can't name no hero. You ever hear that yet? So if you know that, why you didn't put it for 2024? Put it for next year so you could organize yourself better. What kind of political game you're playing? Don't do that. You understand me? Just imagine the MDPM always they supporting this whole thing with Maurice. He's going to be 40 years soon. You know? And for them not included in this whole thing what you're trying to create, them should be in the front line. You know, Dr. Marshall and them should be in the front line. Because this is the one who was pushing for the 19th to be a holiday. So we could pray and reflect back what happened. You understand me? No party, nothing. That day should be the most quietest day in Grenada. You understand? And when you say heroes, who are the heroes? Who are the heroes? So, Mr. Prime Minister, you had to sit down and plan this thing because you was only about 8 or 9 years old. You don't know. You have to get the old folks who went through that. And tell them one thing, all of them should be coming, those survivors, those who kill him, and those who do all the things to the white man and others. They should be getting on the station, making a phone call, trying to explain what they know, the way they saw it. You understand? Because I'm not putting Maurice in the clear. But they know, Sheldon. They know, the Central Committee know what was the problem. We don't know. We only are hearsay. So we have to get this thing right before we come forward to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, Petite Martinique, and the rest of the world. But we don't get that yet. So while we having some Heroes Day tomorrow for? It don't make no sense. Take your time, get it right. You want to rewrite history? You will never be able to rewrite history starting on the wrong foot. Come on, guys. We must do better than that. Have a good day, Sheldon.
All right, thank you very much, caller. And we have a caller on the line. Hello, good night. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, caller, you're live. Go right ahead.
Hey, good night, Sheldon. Good night.
Hey, how you doing, bro?
Sheldon, I think you are very well very well correct when you say that people should not call and say that people lie.
No, because people see different things and people see different things at different times. So what they saw is what they saw.
Who took out Morris Bishop and Sheldon? It is only 4 people that took Morris Bishop out of where he was. 4 persons that did that. You have one of the guy who died. No, he was a former soldier, Everall Williams. You have a guy who is still a pastor in town right now. And it's about 4 people that took him out, despite the crowd was up there. And all the things that how the crowd was doing. 4 men who went and take out Morris where he was. And one of that guy, speaking to me, told me that Morris Bishop just had on a short pants. He didn't have on no clothes on, like, shot on him. But after, clothes was given to him. So some people maybe see him before the clothes went on. He had on clothes, and some people see him after. So it is not that what the people saying, how at the time they see it, they are not wrong. Because the guy who went and
the caller isn't wrong. He saw him when he didn't have on clothes.
Right.
And Cammy isn't wrong. She saw him when he had on clothes. It's just you see them at different time. Yeah.
So, because the guy who went and take him out, that guy tell me where they went and take him out, he did not have on clothes, and it wasn't a crowd of people that went and take him out or who free him. Was only 4 men who went in where he was and take him out and bring him out. And one of the guys tell me when they went and take him out, he just had on a short pants.
Mm-hmm.
So the story is correct. Yes, he didn't have on clothes, and yes, when people saw him at the time when he had on clothes, it wasn't. So nobody should call in that kind of manner and condemn somebody or saying.
Yeah, just give. If you want to give the story, they can give their story, but let's not say that anybody lie. If anybody wants to call and to say, okay, this is my story, this is what I saw, no problem.
It's not nice, and it don't sound indecent to call and styling people as liars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Sheldon.
All right, my brother.
Yeah, go.
All right. 44073. It looked like I had to forget. Going on to that next issue. And let me just show this before I take any more calls. This is October 19th, 1983. This picture was taken of the ops room October 19th, 1983. This individual who I will now point out with the mouse. Let me see. No, sorry. Let me point out with this mouse. I'll point out the wrong one. This is Maurice Bishop. He is wearing a short pants, as you could see here. He is wearing a short pants. This is Maurice Bishop. Everybody know Maurice's face. This is Maurice Bishop here. He is wearing a shirt and he is wearing a short pants. So it is not that any of the callers lie. It is when you saw him. So let's just be clear on that and not accuse anybody of lying or anything. People saw different things at different times. We have a caller online. Good night.
Sheldon, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Sheldon. I was in the yard downstairs. Thank you, Sheldon.
Yeah, no, I have the picture. So here he is. In fact, the only other person I think I could make out it looks like Einstein Louison, but I am not sure.
So this man that can't lie. That if he could say what you want.
Well,
I don't have to call
let's not get any back and
things
forth,
I don't know about to get no fame. You understand? The man, when he saw Morris, he see Morris when he didn't have one.
Yeah, so he didn't lie, but you didn't lie either. Yeah.
You can't say people lie. I tell you, I didn't get away from my hand. He wasn't a bug man. Christopher He called it. It wasn't for Christine. I would have dead up there too. You understand? It wasn't for Christine. And the among the people, when they take Morris up there and go with him, and you know, they transport the man was not was strong, he was weak. People, the amount of people, school children, all kind of people, Mr. Scott, I'm telling you, first time I see Amaka going slow motion, and there we make night, so I don't bother with him.
Don't worry about that.
That man is a hater.
No, it's not a hater. I think he may be, because this is an emotional issue. No, but Cammy, this is an emotional issue for you. No, hold on.
I'm telling you what I see.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're correct. He is correct. You're correct. But we're not calling anybody liars here.
I could sit on it and I could give you the history with things that I witnessed with my eye around Morris Bishop. I used to follow Morris and them, you know. I, Camille. I used to follow all meeting.
Save some for tomorrow night. We're going to have a program tomorrow night. Hold on. Save some for tomorrow night because we have a program tomorrow night.
I tell you, I'm going to look for the video test where the people come and interview me. I'm going to look for it. I will hide somewhere. And you're going to still listen.
All right, my dear. Okay, guys. Gabby, we go talk again. All right, my love.
Why you don't say YC?
I'm encouraging the caller to call back and give his story. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, John.
Gabby.
Have a good night.
All right, later. Yeah, I'm going to encourage the caller to call back and say what he saw. But once it goes down the line, this person like that, everybody see different things at different times. So you may not have seen what somebody else see. So it doesn't mean that that person is lying. It just means that you didn't see what they see at the time that they saw it. We've got a call. Oh, lost that call. 440-7377. As I say, it didn't look like I could go on to any other issue there right now. But 440-7377. That is the number you can call and get onto the inside. Hello, good night.
Hello. Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
Good night, brother. Good night, brother.
Yes, sir.
Program. And I take it in, I find the song is pretty good. But one thing I find missing is that we're celebrating 25th as a holiday.
Yeah, it's still a holiday, yeah.
You're right. But I will never celebrate and support this day as a holiday. You know why? I will tell you why. The American coming in Grenada here. They killed 32 of our patriotic Grenadians, fellas who fought for this country. They tried to defend this country. And the Americans killed them. And we're still supporting the American people, killing our people. The Americans come here, brother. And they capture Grenada, you know. Grenada capture country, you know. You mightn't look so, you know. But Grenada captures, just as how the English capture Grenada from the French. It's the same thing. Only thing to say that the Americans don't enforce the law. The spoil, when you capture the spoils and everything. They don't enforce that. They leave us with freedom. But we are a captured country. And I will never support that, the 25th as a holiday. I will support the 19th. You know why? To me, my bishop was a hero in this country. And he died fighting for what he believes. He said, he don't want no joint leadership, and I support him for that. He said, you are dead before you have joint leadership. Brother, you have a good night, right?
Yeah, thank you so very much, caller. Yes, indeed. As I said, people, this is a very, and I understand that. This is a very emotional issue. Sorry, for those of you on the overseas line, I accidentally left it locked in. It's a very emotional issue for a lot of people. And people may get up in their temper or up in their emotions on it. Right? So if people want to speak, you can speak on it. That's not a problem. Let's just avoid that part of it. If somebody wants to call, even the caller that called, if you want to call back and you want to say, this is what I saw. These are the people that I saw and this is what I saw. No problem. That's pretty all well and okay. I don't have a problem with that, right? We've got a call online. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Hey, sir, how are you?
Not too bad, you know.
Yeah, well,
night.
I hear you
Good
this
night.
morning, Papa.
Good night to your listeners and viewers.
You gave the short. You gave the short version, man.
Huh?
You gave the short version this morning.
Yeah. Just I just wanted to answer one or two questions.
Mm-hmm.
But very interesting though is that I just listen to persons talking and persons sharing their views, and so I respect that, and I am glad that a lot more persons are coming out and talk. Whatever their story is, perhaps what they see or whatever they saw, right, and everything like that, we need to listen. We need to give persons an opportunity to share, and so and coming out of that, we can learn a lot, because a lot of things happen on that day in October that can full. I mean, I don't know.
Devon, I'll say this, my friend. I'll say this, my friend. One of the problems that we have here, and I've said it when they spoke of teaching Grenadian history, is which history are we teaching?
Yeah.
When, even on an issue like this, you're hearing various stories from various people. How are we collating? How are we putting all of these different stories together to come up with one story and say that is historical fact as far as we are concerned? Yeah? Because you gave your story. On several occasions, you've given your story of what you experienced on that day. You have taken the opportunity and you've given your story. Others may take the opportunity from time to time to give their story as well. But it is important that more and more people do that, and then everything is brought together, so we say this is what happened on that day. Yeah?
I really think so. I really would like persons to take that opportunity to just say what they have on it. Like, for example, I had an opportunity this morning, unexpected. I was called to one of the schools in St. George's to have a short discussion with the children, and so as to what happened on October 19th. And I mean, the children, they were so excited, right, to learn a lot. They asked questions, children, that you never thought that they would ask. Now, these are things that I would love to see other persons taking up that responsibility, and doing, helping share what I think is a tragic day, but a day that we can learn a lot from. Before I go, one of the things that I wanted
to... Who tell you going in a hurry?
Expound on the whole question of the bodies, right? The bodies of Morris Bishop and all the others, and so I think persons must stop getting worked up and so, and just follow the trail. Like we say, follow the money, follow the trail, the piece of evidence. Now, one of the things or places that they can go, if they can locate transcript of the trial, right, and they will see and understand where the bodies are at the time when the court was going on. A lot of persons, right, without information, blame persons like Bernard Code and Ewart Lane and these guys and them, right, and say that they have the bodies and they need to tell people. A lot of people still say that.
No, the chain of custody was broken.
Right? When those guys was caught, right, after the invasion, and so, it is after the Americans, with information from soldiers and other persons and so, went to Calvini and discovered the bodies and so in a mass grave and so, and they took custody of it. So they were the last persons to put their hands on the bodies of Morris Bishop, Eunice Whiteman, Norris Bain, all these persons of them that were put inside of that hole. So I think we must not get too emotional because of what happened, but we must follow the truth, follow the trail. And so I will urge persons to, to look at the transcript and so that came out from the trial of the 17th, and we may learn a lot of things that we just, want to ignore.
Yes, indeed. And again, my friend, I want to congratulate and thank you for continuing to at least be one of, because some people may say, well, Devon get this wrong or you get that wrong or the other thing, but they are not out there saying, look, this is what I saw. You're speaking from your perspective. You're speaking from being up there at Mount Welldale, coming down, going to the fort, not just going to the fort, but actually being inside the room with the individuals, some of the individuals who lost their lives on that day. You're speaking from that perspective. And I think people need to respect that and on their own end start to tell their story. So maybe the bits and pieces of the puzzle that you may not have, they may have those bits and pieces of the puzzle. And then we can truly say that we have the history of what happened 40 years ago. Yeah, exactly. Then we can truly say we have it. Up to this day, we cannot say we have the true story. We don't have it. We have bits and pieces, but we don't have the full thing.
We don't. Well, you know what? I always say that this whole story or scenario is like life. You may live as much as 40, 50 years, and you may still not understand life itself. You understand? That is the whole thing. Because persons cannot understand what went on. But if they take the time to learn, right, and to gather information, they will realize that it's a simple, the tedious, hurtful process, but it is simple. And we can, look, Sheldon, I am of a strong belief that if as a people mature enough, taking 50 years as our independent nation, we are mature enough to sit ourselves down, right? Different leaders from the civil society, the church, the politicians, to whoever, right? In the local individuals, persons in the village, and to come out, listen, share, the information that they have, and so compare them. Because I am sure that persons who were involved as soldiers and who were even tried and convicted of October 19th, a lot of them are willing. But the problem is the way we as a people approach them, the way how we want to deal with them. Yes, right? They have been convicted of a crime, against Greenland. But we also, right, if we say that we are a democratic country and we believe in the rule of law, we have to remember that these gentlemen served more than 25 years in prison for what they were charged for, what they were found guilty of. You understand? So we have to bear that in mind, right? All these things. So when approaching and when getting persons like them to come together and share information, we need to not just wait on them to think. We need to approach them as, yes, still they are our brothers and sisters, right, who eventually would clear up things for the future generation, because a country without its history is a country that is doomed. And the rate that Grenada is going on at this point in time, when it comes to our history of October 19th, of the revolution, June 19th, our independence, Sky Red, all these things, the way things are going now, I mean, we are about to get lost if we are not careful.
Let me ask you a question, my brother.
Yeah.
Do you think, do you believe that the individuals who made up part of the firing squad and others would be willing to talk on what took place that day? So far, we're hearing from everybody. We're not really hearing from them. Do you think that one day they will be willing to talk and say why they did, what they did, how they did, etc.? Do you think that they would be willing to disclose that information to the Grenadian people? Because unless we get all sides coming out of this story, I don't think there'll be closure. I don't think there will ever be closure for some people on this issue.
Sheldon, I'll tell you, I am convinced, after 40 years, I am convinced that if it is done properly, we can get to the bottom of it. And I am convinced that persons who was involved, who was convicted, who is still alive, would be willing to come forward and share their experience, share their side of the story. But you know the other part of it? Are we as a people willing to listen? Having them is not the issue, but are we willing to listen to them and give them an opportunity to share their side? Because remember, we have already convicted them both in the court of public opinion and in the court of law, right? So we have to be mindful of that. But I am convinced that given a chance, a lot of these guys are willing. Some of them have written books, not exactly of what went on, but giving snippets. And so, because perhaps they might be testing the water to see how Grenadians will accept them and accept their story. But again, I tell you, I am convinced that given the opportunity, right, and the right time, persons would be willing to share. Because those gentlemen in particular that I know, right, I've been to revolution with, and even after, even while they were in prison, right, and even after the prison and outside, those gentlemen that I know, right, they are persons, they are not cowards. They are persons that are willing to face it. They have been facing it for years. They are willing to face the Grenadian people and share the truth. But are we willing to give them that opportunity to do it?
Okay. All right, my brother, I think you've made a very succinct point on this particular matter. I hope I'm hearing from you tomorrow night as well.
Well, yeah, tomorrow is a day, as I always say.
I know the day. I know the day.
Yeah, I just prefer to, to relax and listen, perhaps, meditate on some other things. But yeah, I will be listening, and if I can share and give my side of it,
Let me ask. Let me ask this question before you leave, though. Yeah. As someone who went through what you went through on that day, no one can tell you that you didn't go through. There are several eyewitnesses that place you at that location at that time. As someone that went through what you went through on that day, what are your views in relation to the holiday tomorrow? What are your views in relation to that? I think your views in relation, and the views of people such as you, and the views of people who lost loved ones on that day, they hold serious weight as to what the true perception of tomorrow is. What is your perception of tomorrow?
No, first of all, I must say thank you to the government and the persons who decided to finally make the day a holiday, right? A holiday for, in my view, it's worth it. A day when, as a people, we need to reflect and understand what went on that day, right? The issues that happened on that day. Now, yes, the holiday is okay, but what are we doing for the holiday, right? Will ultimately, make the day what it's supposed to be. Right? Now, I'm not of the view that we should be using that day to be, all sort of place and making all sorts of ceremony. And furthermore, I want to categorically say, I do not believe and I cannot understand why a government will announce and call October 19th Heroes Day. I cannot understand it. I am willing to have discussion and to hear the rationale for basically naming the day tomorrow as National Heroes Day. Who are the heroes that we are celebrating? Have we named any heroes? Isn't that a work in progress? And so I think they erred on that. And persons on that committee and even the government, they should know better than that, right? And I think they are letting politics get into the whole organization, right?
But that was the
day itself.
That was the next question I was going to ask you. If you think that what they're doing is something not in reverence and remembrance of what took place on that particular day, but more in line with political expedience and trying to gain favor with particular segments of the Grenadian society. In fact, you have several key members of the present administration whose relatives were deeply involved in the events of that day. Deeply involved. Even cabinet ministers whose very near relatives were deeply involved in what took place on that particular day. Is it reverence and remembrance, or is it political expedience? Because it's called Heroes Day, and I don't even think, I listened to the minister this morning, and I don't even think he understands what he's trying to say. I don't even think he understands what's taking place tomorrow.
Well, I think it's all political expedience more than anything else, because, I mean, none of them basically really understand the day itself. I don't think so. I don't think, I mean, there are persons, for example, who that day affected and is still affecting. Is one that look, why, okay, it's National Heroes Day, but who are the heroes? Why use it as basically to me, a political football? And so, it should be used as a day. Yes, you give it a holiday. Not everybody agree with the holiday and everything like that, right? But let us use that day to reflect on what was, right? Let us try to understand what caused it, right? And everything like that, and move forward trying to heal, right? That is, in my view, the only thing we can do on that day to make it important. Remember those who lost their lives, right? Remember what caused it, right? And the pain, right, that it has caused over the years for persons, you know, still mourning their loved ones, even those that went to prison, their families were affected, soldiers were affected. I mean, it's not just a easy thing just so. That day affected 100% of the Grenadian people in some way or the other. Some people think that it didn't affect the soldiers or the persons who was on the other side that pulled the trigger. Yes, it did. Right? It affected their family. May not as we think as much as those who lost their lives and everything, but a lot of persons are hurting. So to rejoice and to use it as a way to gain political mileage and to say, yes, I did that, right, and this is the way it's supposed to go, without consultation, without involving the relevant persons who had given their lives 38, 39 years ago to ensure that this day stood out, right, and out in our history. You know, I think they need to think about it much more, right? They made a try, but I think they erred in a lot of things because they did not want to have consultation with those who matter.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Devon, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to give us a call. From what I'm picking up from you, what you really believe is that tomorrow should have not been National Heroes Day, but National Day of Tolerance.
Well, yes.
If it was National Day of Tolerance, where we focus on how to tolerate the views of others.
Others, and not use violence, right, to solve problems.
Indeed. My brother.
Have a good night, my brother.
I'd like to thank you so very much. Say hello to, you know the lady listening. Brands, good night. Good night to you and good night to the entire home circle that I know is somewhere in the background there. A special good night to all of them.
All right, my brother. One love and good night to everyone.
Stay blessed, my bro.
All right, take care.
440-7377 and 347-329-3 101. Yeah. Maybe not National Heroes Day, but maybe National Day of Tolerance. Yeah, so that we understand that while I can be a supporter of the new National Party, someone else may be a supporter of the NDC, and then somebody else may be the supporter of no party. And yet still, we all have a right and should tolerate the views of the others without resorting to violence. Yeah? But national heroes, yeah, there are various countries that have some of them, they're not necessarily a holiday. They have them on a day when there's school and so on, so that children within the schools can focus on a particular hero at a particular time, learn all they can learn about that individual, and you can have different sessions and so on taking place. So it is not a national holiday, but it's a point in time where especially the young ones, who are really the ones, the people who are in their 50s, 60s and above, and were in Grenada at that point in time, they knew Maurice. They knew Quad, they knew Gary, they knew all these people. Yeah, they knew them, they saw them, they knew of them. They were wrong when they were there. It's the young ones that we have to teach about these people. And as such, if you're doing something and you're calling it Heroes Day, in my view, it need not necessarily have been a holiday, but it could have been a day during the normal week where you focus on the schools and the young ones, and you teach them the history, and but then, you see, we just think when we're doing things. Other people, we can't accuse them of doing that. Now, we don't want to end up in court, so we don't want to accuse other people of thinking when they're doing things. They do it with political expediency and not the best interests of the nation and folks at heart. We have a call online. Good night. Hello? Good night, caller. Hello? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Hello? Okay. May have been a mistaken call, so let's just give them that. Yeah, maybe they call and they didn't realize they call. Yeah, so 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get on to the inside. It's now 38 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. Yes, saying a special good night to all of you. Augie, good night to you. And Spy and Sky. Well, Spy and Sky, right? Anastasia, good night to you as well. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good night.
Hello?
Hi, good night, caller.
Hello?
Yes, you're live, caller. Go right ahead.
Good night.
Good night. Just listen to us on the phone line and go right ahead.
Hello, yes.
Yeah, you're live.
Concerning October 19th.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, yes. Well, I was 22 at the time. Yes. So, listen, my grandmother wasn't a supporter of the end of the revolution. But she told something was going to happen, so she told us to make sure we come home. So the day I was supposed to go home, I did not. I left and I went up with Bishop Wall. And when we went up there was a lot of people up there. So they start letting out bullets. They start firing gunshots at us. What wasn't at the crowd was up in the air. So everybody was saying it's blank shot. And we saying we never thought they would have used a gun on the civilian. So we there and we singing, we want we leader, F code. We want we leader, code. So then they released Morris, Bishop. So then we decide to come down. So we coming down. We coming down Lucas Street. Lucas Street. So when we reach in town, they decide some side go on the phone. So we went in the market because we were waiting to see Morris Bishop. So while we was down there, you had Norris Bain, and they say they're setting up so Morris will come and address the crowd and say what's going to happen. So we there for a while, waiting, nothing happening. So then I decide to go on the foot. While I'm going on the foot, I went up that hill to go to the hospital. When I reached there, there was Barclays Bank on the side. So I saw some friends there, so I decided I'm going to talk to them. While I'm talking to them, that's when the armored cars start coming down. It's like the police calling traffic from Church Street to call. They call in the traffic. The armored car couldn't wait for the police to call the traffic. He just bunged the car, and the car went down. That's Young Street. And they just go up the fort. And we was just standing there. And I was like, what happening? So then everybody decided, no, they're going home because it looked like something going to happen. So I went up Church Street. And while I going up Church Street, everybody answering bullets. And when I looked back, I saw fire on the fort. I saw a young lady. She said, oh, that's blank shot. I said, no, miss, that's not blank shot. Blank shot don't make fire. There's fire on the fort. I said, these shots have to be live shots. So I started running. I went all the way up Cemetery Hill. So then I went down Cemetery Hill. Then I reached River Road. People was hanging out a truck. They're trying to get out a tongue. Blood, people bloody all over the place. People trying to get out a tongue. I met my cousin in River Road. She asked me for two of my cousins. I said, I haven't seen them. She said, well, okay, if they die, they look for it. I told them to come home. So then she just turned and she went back home. When I reached home, Sheldon Scott, in Lamode, I walked from Tongue to Lamode. When I reached in Lamode, my grandmother was on the veranda and she was counting one by one as we come home. My aunt was pregnant at the time. She fell over the fort. When she said one come, then the next one, that's two, that's me. I passed my grandmother in the veranda and I went home. I said, no, I have to be dreaming. I went and sleep, hoping that I was dreaming, that what happened did not happen. When I wake up, I realize that the thing happened. Sheldon, I cry like a baby. And you see this, what's happening tomorrow, we're just bringing back memories, what you shut out, what you block from your memory. It's what's happening tomorrow. It's bringing back so many things. So many things. So I'm just calling. I've never called before. So that's my contribution to the show.
Thank you so very much, caller. And don't let it be the last time that you call. Call again. All right? Thank you so very much. Yes, indeed, folks. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That is the number you can call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. Reminder again, coming up, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday from 12 noon, we're heading out to the Hard Court in Guelph, the new National Party. Organize your bus, your car, whatever transportation and so on. If you're in St. John itself and you're within walking distance, come on down. So that's taking place in St. John on the 29th of October, New National Party social activity. Remember, we also have coming up on the 28th, the night before. So those of you in St. Patrick West, don't go and overdo it and all. You can't make it this Sunday. You know? All right. So the Saturday night before, you have St. Patrick West NNP branch. They're having the Lovers Night out there in the Arena nightclub. Cost of the tickets only $15. So you can check the various members there. Next week, Wednesday, you have the St. George Anglican Parish. They're having their mini fair down there at the St. Luke Church grounds in Grenville Vale. That's starting from 1 p.m. So that's the St. George Anglican Parish. They're having their mini fair. And of course, tomorrow from 12 noon, the Maurice Bishop and October 19th, 1983 Martyrs Foundation, they are having their activity. The families and friends, they're having their activity at the Presbyterian Kirk tomorrow. We've got a caller. Let me see here. We've got a caller online. Hello, good night.
Yes, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Good night, sir. Go right ahead.
All the way from Canada.
Wonderful, man.
But as you know, I'm a son of the soil. So I was 20 years at the time, and I remember that day the school children they were going down, and I jumped on one truck and I went down. And when we went in the place where Morris was, and then they took him out. He came out it's like a veranda. When we were going up, they started to fire bullets in the air. The place started shaking when the bullets go off. Anyway, we still go up through, and we went up there, these children, everybody. And then Morris came out in the veranda. He was wearing a short pants. I think it was red. And he was shaking. I think Selwyn Strawn was with him there in the veranda, and they were speaking, And eventually they took him from there, and they said, okay, we're going down to the market. Then while we're going down, I think they said it wasn't quite safe. But we did reach in the market. And they said it's not safe there because they're scared maybe the army, they might have just come down, right? Because remember, they were the people that held him. So we went down there, and we left the market. They said, okay, let's go up to the fort. So they went up to the fort. I went up there. I was right in the yard as you go up the hill, right in the flat, right there, standing there. Morris Bishop, I think he gave a speech. Norris Bain was there, and a few of them was there. And while we up there, all I heard from the gate down at the bottom, I just started to hear like machine gun, like loud. When those things fire, it make like you could see like lightning. The place shake. So when those bullets start to fire, and when we look down, you could see the soldiers, the armored car was right down at the bottom there. I just lie down flat on the ground. And there was a whole rounds of bullet going off. And then it stopped. When it stopped, by that time I see soldiers coming up with the gun through the coming up the hill, coming up the fort. And I just get up and I start running. And then the next rounds of bullets start to go off again. I hit the ground again. And then when that ceased, by that time I was down in the market, and I run from there to Tempe. And then I get a ride because I was from Birchbrook. And that was it. And then all we hear is what? Dust to down, shoot on sight, curfew. And these people lock us down. And then people saying it was America invade. That's not invasion. That was rescue mission. America rescue me and the Grenadians from these people. If they could have turned around and execute and kill their own leaders, Norris Bain, all these people, Jacqueline Kraft, they execute, they kill all these people. We never even see their body. Right? And this thing happened before the American come. Now there is propaganda saying, oh, it's the Americans that do it. That's nonsense. It's way after the American came. I think it was a week after they came. And it was, I call it a rescue mission. It was no invasion because they were invited to come. Mary Eugenia Charles, I think the Governor General, somehow they get word out and they get them to come. And they came and they rescue us from these so-called criminals, killing people, killing, executing the leader. What kind of people, who does that? So I lived through that, and I was there, and I saw what happened. No, I was never in the army. My good friends used to come and tell me I should join the militia, join the army. I said, that's not my thing. You know what they do? They go around and say, I'm a counter-revolutionary. He said to me, I wouldn't able to get jobs. I would nothing if I don't join the militia. This was the kind of thing that was going on. Nobody would talk about these things. To do as if the revolution was the best thing. There was a lot of good things, but there was a lot of bad things. These people was there for 4 years, and the amount of damage that was done for that 4 years. What if they was there for 29 years like Eric Matthew Geary? What would happen? So that's all I have to say. And tomorrow should be a day of reflection, a day of repentance, a day, where is the heroes? heroes. You execute and kill the leaders, and some of them was coming from the same root, from the same set of people. Execute. Who is the heroes here? I wish somebody could tell me. That's a sad day in Grenada life. Blood was shed, innocent blood was shed. This blood, people need to repent, need to reflect that day. It should be a day of prayer, not a day to celebrate leaders. Who you celebrating? Leaders? That's all I have to say.
All right, my friend. Thank you so very much for your call. All right. Thank you. Yes, indeed. 44073. We have roughly about 9 minutes. 9 minutes or so remaining on tonight's program. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Let me just credit Grenada Broadcasting Network for the footage that I am playing there with some of the protesters heading up to the fort on that day, the armored car heading up and trucks heading up to the fort on that day. Some of the people jumping over on that day and so on, and the firing of one of the armored cars on that day and so on. So let me just credit the Grenada Broadcasting Network for that footage. Probably we had to use artificial intelligence and get that a little more sharp, you know. Yeah, but just to credit them for the footage that we are showing at this point in time. All right, folks, 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That is the phone number for you to get on the inside, and 347-329-3101 again. Yeah, everybody has a story to tell. Yeah, everybody who was there has a story to tell. Two people could be standing up in roughly the same spot and see two different things, because you're seeing it from your angle, the person is seeing it from their angle. They may see something that you didn't see. You may see something that they didn't see. They may hear something that you didn't hear. Yeah? So we have to respect everybody's stories that they have of that particular time. Yeah? It is important to know your history so that you do not repeat it. Yeah? And if some people understood their history, they would not be playing like them as the new Maurice Bishop right now. They would not be trying to use the tragedy of what happened on that particular day and trying to piggyback on that for political expediency. Yeah? They would not have considered in the first place to try and put the events that they had been trying, and had it not been for the same October 19th Martyrs Foundation and various other people that spoke out against having the independence launch on that day, tomorrow, definitely would have been having the launch tomorrow. But there are some people that spoke out against that. You had Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. He spoke out on the press conference on the Tuesday. On the Wednesday, they announced that they changed it. Yes, so you had various people that spoke out against that. And it is important for us to give people the opportunity to give their stories, to say what they saw. Yeah? Whether we agree with them, whether we disagree with them, but give them the opportunity to speak. And then start the process of putting all of this together. The Americans had the American Revolution how much 100 years ago? Yeah? And there are still various aspects of it that they ain't show on. They have a general history, but there are certain aspects of it they're not show on. You had the Cuban Revolution. Yeah? There are still aspects of it that people might be debatable on, but they've generally settled on this is what happened. This is how it started. This was the precursor. This was what happened during it. This was what happened. Matanzas, this take place. And Cienfuegos, this take place, etc. And you had people like this one that used to wear the round hat day that died in the plane crash. And all these people. And you had Che Guevara and all these things. They have their history down pat. What took place. Right? But here in Grenada, we have a lot of people that are afraid to speak. And afraid to talk about what they saw on that day. And a lot of people are holding in. And it comes across because I'm listening to people speaking, and I don't know if you all are hearing it, but I'm hearing a lot of hurt in people when they're speaking on this issue. Which is why when people speaking generally right now, I take the mic off, you know. Yeah, I take off the mic because I don't want to interrupt them. because I am hearing a lot of hurt coming across. People are giving their stories and you're hearing it coming through their voices. Yeah? You could tell that they're feeling, they're remembering how they felt that day when everything took place. So you need to create the opportunities for them to be able to give their stories. Then you have to create the forum where all those stories can be put together and where we can come up with what we honestly all believe is our Grenadian history on this issue. We've got a caller online. Good night. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good night, caller. Go ahead.
Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
Megan, I just called to make a call to the Prime Minister and the powers that be. Well, you know what I like them to do? Condemn the 25th as a holiday and maintain that one. Condemn the 25th as a holiday. Because that holiday, to me, it don't make no sense. You cannot celebrate a whole holiday for the killing of your own people. That don't make no sense. Good day.
All right, my brother. And again, some people may agree with that caller. Some people may disagree with that caller. You have people who were imprisoned at that point in time. You have people who were at Richmond Hill Prison and other facilities at that point in time on the 25th of October, 1983, that some of them were in jail from all now. Some of them were in jail. Some of them were in jail for years before. And they gained their freedom on the 25th, and because of the 25th, so to them, the 25th is a significant day. And their feelings have to be taken into consideration. I'm not saying that what the caller just called and said is wrong. I am saying that while that caller may be right in their mind, in the minds of some other people, they are saying the 25th is the day that I prefer to celebrate because that is the day that I gained my freedom again. Yeah? Because let's face it, you had thousands of people, 2,000 or 3,000 people over the period who spent time, whether it's a few months or a few weeks to years, within the prison system because of their political views during that period of time. Yeah? And to those people, the 25th is a significant day. And to those people, the 25th is what brought freedom to them. When the Americans invaded, they removed who they perceived, who these people perceived as oppressors. And as such, their views have to be taken into consideration, which is why I think that as it is right now, the 19th has been added, but you've also got the 25th as well remaining, because you have to take the views of everyone in the country. And I'll tell you this, do you, don't do, you're in problem. Do you, don't do, you'll be in problem. There are people who love the idea of the 25th. There are people who hate the idea of the 25th. There are people who love the idea of the 19th. There are people who hate the idea of the 19th. I think what you have to come to on both issues is what is the common ground. Instead of how this government operates by just doing things and they're doing things ad hoc. Yeah? You for the last year or so, you're saying that can't be a holiday and we have too much holidays, and you're making all these sort of statements, and then because it's politically expedient at that point in time, and the AI that you're using to try and poll the Grenadian people's attitudes towards that particular activity is telling you that you may gain a little bump politically if you name that as a holiday and you go ahead and you name it as a holiday. Yeah, not taking into consideration the feelings of people and so on, but because you're looking for a political bump. Yeah, so you name that as a holiday, right? So instead of all of that, we need to find what the middle road is. Some people will like things, some people wouldn't like it. Let's just admit that. Some people would like these things, some people will not like these things. And you have all are Grenadians and all have a right. Let's just get that clear. All have a right to their view. All right? So let's just get that part clear. Folks, that's all the time we actually have tonight. We're out of time for tonight. That's all the time we have tonight for Talking Points. It's been wonderful being here with you. And of course, I got to run. So in everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you folks. Remember to like and share. Like and share. Like and share the page. All right, like and share. Those of you on Facebook, especially, remember to like. Those of you on YouTube, especially, remember to like. Those of you on Facebook, also remember to share. All right, so that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here. We will be on, even though it's a holiday, we will be on tomorrow night, God's willing. We will be on tomorrow night, as some of my Muslim friends, how do you say it, inshallah? Yeah, we will be on, inshallah, tomorrow's night, God's willing, with Talking Points for you from 8 p.m. My name is Sheldon Scott. I am out of here. Love each and every one of you.
This is a true story. May your memory live on in this and the future generations. Rest in peace, my brother.
After 4.5 years in a revolution, which was led by the Bishop administration, he was known as a true and just freedom fighter. To the people, he was the liberator. All the time corruption was undermining, because good and us didn't want to be ruling. In the absence of Bishop, they decide and pose a threat to hold the comrade leader under house arrest. The people saw that was out of order and decided to solve the matter. October 19th, the streets were filled with demonstrators. The comrade leader was rescued by the people that day. They shouted, "We find we leader, we get we leader." The whole nation came out and supported him that day. They shouted, "We find we leader, we get we leader." Them ultra leftists and them get real angry. They knew they were supporting no more in this country. So they sent soldiers from the army to settle the score very ruthlessly. While on foot Rupert waiting to hear from a corporate leader, a loud explosion, that was the answer. All I hear was, good God, they're just shooting people down. Who went flat on the ground, who jumping and tumbling down, they just shooting people down. Who lost their hand, who lost their man, who lost their leg, who lost their head, who lost their belly and their baby, who lost their mind and forget what's behind.